Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Braden, Tim, Second Legacy. You are amazing, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today's episode, we're trying something brand new, never been done before, embarking on a brand new adventure. It's called Twitter Twits, or Reality Checks, or Tim's Walks on Twitter. I don't know what we're going to call it. Let us know what you guys think of this in the comments field so we can think of a good name for this. But we've got a collection of just space age crazy that we're going to bring for you right now. Now, of course, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Sarcasm and humor delivered on point for the 2A. Tim, are you ready for this episode of yet to be determined what we call this?
Yeah.
I do like Twitter Twits, though.
Twitter Twits. You didn't like my other first two suggestions.
Well, that's because I can't say them on the internet.
Oh, well, on YouTube. We can say them on the internet, just not YouTube. Yeah, no. Twitter Twits. There's plenty of twits on Twitter.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of like it. So let us know what you think down below.
It's brandable. Yeah. I dig that. Well, to start off our random smattering of Twittery, Tim, did you know that Donald Trump wasn't shot? Did you know that?
Yeah, there really wasn't. And
no.
Can we say the A word, because it seems like everybody's like bleeping?
No, you can. It. No, that one you can. I don't know why they're bleeping it, but it's allowed.
Okay, so they're pretending like if Trump wasn't physically hit by a bullet, there was no assassination attempt. That seems to be the narrative, right? It's like, he wasn't really hit with a bullet. It was fragments from a teleprompter. It didn't really happen, folks. It's all staged.
He wasn't struck by a bullet.
It's like, yeah, so if the shooter had completely missed everybody and just fired rounds in the air, where they just like, it didn't really happen, folks. Nothing to see here. There was no attempt on Trump's life. I mean, it wasn't really a bullet that hit him. Those hit other people. It was a fragment.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It was a thought. It was a thought and prayer. That's what it was.
So stop with the sympathy, folks. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
The guy didn't survive an assassination attempt. He survived a teleprompter exploding attempt. I mean, come on.
Exactly. See, it's all about framing, Tim.
Yeah, the shooter wasn't shooting at
This
Trump.
is a good.
He was shooting at the teleprompter. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And a person didn't die, and two others weren't actually hit. But no. It was a teleprompter explosion. So the reason that this is so stupid, and this is why Twitter Twit is such a great name for this. Your argument for no sympathy for Trump is that while someone was attempting to assassinate him, the bullet didn't hit him, hit a teleprompter, which then caused shrapnel, which then made him bleed. But because the bullet didn't hit him, there's no reason for sympathy. You realize how stupid that is, Tim?
I know. It's amazing. But they will literally try anything.
Oh my God, they're so desperate.
I know.
They are so desperate, man. But have you heard Kamala Harris is here? She's the new hotness. You didn't know that?
Oh, don't suggest.
The new hotness.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to go puke. I'll be right back.
I'm going to say it again. Hotness. That's right. That's right. She's here, and there's no sympathy for this man. Can't have that. In fact, that image has been scrubbed from the internet.
Yeah, we can't have him out there looking like
so
a boss, after the teleprompter assassination attempt.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. And don't worry, this is only Newsweek.
Yeah.
It's not like it's Harry Sison.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah. It's just all these news organizations are out there just trying to make themselves wildly irrelevant as quickly as they can, apparently. Because this is such great reporting, hey, he may not have been hit by a bullet after all, and therefore there was no assassination attempt. It was just,
so simple.
Sympathy for Trump. That's just silly. Give that to Harris, because,
exactly right.
Joe Biden, folks, he stepped aside. I've seen this floated on Twitter too. Joe Biden is the one that took the real bullet because he stepped aside for democracy.
Right. He did. His pride took a bullet.
Yeah. And so the only problem is you're not stepping aside for democracy when somebody's literally threatening you and saying, well, your son may go to prison, Joe, and that presidential library you want. There's no guarantees in life, Joe.
Ooh, questions.
Yeah.
There are questions.
So literally they threaten him to the point where he's like, no, I'm staying in. Finally, the threats get such traction with him that he's like, all right, fine, I'm out. And that's taking one for democracy, folks.
It is.
In the eyes of the left.
He's such an incredible person to step down from power. God almighty.
Yeah.
The propaganda, right now, the propaganda is so full blast. Like, you could almost, never mind. All right. It's just propaganda. That's all. So for our next option of Twitter Twit, or just interesting, this one is about the whole impeachment of Kamala Harris, which we're going to cover in a second. Now the GOP is trying to impeach Kamala Harris. They're scared Poopless. Well,
Angry staffer. I was harassing them this morning.
Oh, you were.
Yes,
you were. The interesting part about this is I can completely understand how they get to that perspective. That's the funny part. I can completely understand how they get there. They're still out there crazy. They're Twitter twat. Oh, Twitter twits.
That was my original name.
Almost did it.
That was my original name. Hey, I told you it was catchy.
It is catchy. It came out. It slipped out. Whoops-a-toodles.
Anyway.
Well, they're scared. They're scared, Tim. I'm scared. Are you scared? I know. I'm scared of Kamala Harris just winning completely.
It's funny. So is that an admission that they were scared poopless of Trump? Because they started talking about his impeachment before he even took office. See, they're talking about impeaching her from the VP position. She's in office. But with Trump, they were so scared, according to Angry Staffer, that according to Wikipedia, and I quote, various people and groups assert that former U.S. President Donald Trump engaged in impeachable activity before and during his presidency, and talk of impeachment began before he took office. Yes.
Yeah, but that was a threat to democracy.
Right. Though. Oh, yeah, true. Yep.
So you gotta do that. That always like add like 10 after that one, because he is a threat to democracy, Tim. Even though the people claiming that he's a threat to democracy literally just ignored democracy completely in appointing Kamala Harris as the coronated one through a bunch of oligarchs and Democratic power brokers who are the elites in the party with no vote whatsoever from the voting populace.
Dude.
Very similar to what they did with Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. There's a pattern. It's really weird. It's almost like the Democrats don't give a flying crap about what the Democrat voters think.
Did you see how quickly loyalty shifted on X too? People like JoJo and all the goons, Harry Sison, they're out there like, I'm riding with Biden. Screw all these detractors. He's in the race. He's staying in the race. Back his play. We're with Biden. We would never bail on Biden. Biden's out. Harris is in.
Then the email
Harris, hey, all hail Harris. Screw Biden. We're done. It's like they're out there literally like, I'm about to cry with this speech he's about to give. You mean,
dude,
as you're pulling a knife out of his back, JoJo, because you literally are the worst ally one could ever hope to have. You did not one word of protest came from your fingertips, JoJo. You just switched gears and you bailed on riding with Biden that fast.
That's what one of my good buddies said. He said, "This is Obama's perspective. Joe has the most tenured, amazing presidency, and his back is so solid and so sturdy. My knife had to work really hard to get through it."
That's right. Joe's back is almost impenetrable, folks. Oh
yeah, it is.
The backstabbing.
I had to run a bunch of knives. I had to have a specialized knife so I could stab him really good and get him out. Oh, but don't worry, it's democracy.
Yeah.
It's democracy. By the way, Tim, Trump has like the ultimate counter to that now. They can't use that anymore because of the election move they just pulled, and also the fact that he's like, I took a bullet for democracy, and these morons are over here ignoring it. I mean, it's so perfect. I'm just like, this is so
He took
beautiful.
a teleprompter for democracy, let's be honest here.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right.
According to Newsweek.
He took shrapnel and allegedly, so that really waffles about if he gets the assassination attempt points. Well, so Joe said something last night, Tim.
Oh, boy.
I got to tell you about it. In his little sign-off, it's been great. Bye.
Yeah.
Here's what he said. I signed the first major gun safety law in 30 years. Today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. And I'm going to keep speaking out to protect kids from gun violence, President Joe Biden, from none other than Giffords. Should we burst the bubble?
Yeah. So let's say today the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. That's probably about because 38% of the states are no longer reporting statistics.
Stop reporting it?
Yeah. I mean, if you can't get anything done with dealing with violent crime in America, just cook the books, and then claim victory,
easy.
Right?
It's easy. It's kind of like if I was going to go step on a scale at an annual physical, and then I was just like not going to count my arm.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, wow, I'm down 25 points. This is amazing. I'm only like 500 pounds now. Yeah. This is incredible. Yeah. Oh, man, I'll tell you what, the work that my mouth has been doing to cut down on the caloric intake. No, moron, you're not counting. What was the actual number? Like 40%?
Yeah, it's like it's
I think it was 40% of the. Yeah. Oh my God, that just aren't reporting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the lies.
But he's protecting kids from gun violence, violence committed by inanimate objects. But what about the vacuum cleaner violence that they don't want to talk about? 800,000 plus kids a year killed by people like him. But that doesn't seem, they want to save just one life, just not
vacuums.
Can we say the A word?
Which
abort? Oh, we're burning in hot, folks.
I see. We're coming in hot. You didn't mean vacuums. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm just going to over here to sip my drink and cool down on that one. I had no idea what you were talking about. I was like
this Hoover violence, Hoovers? Folks. We have to do something to stop the Hoover violence.
I figured they would have talked about that. But anyway, I understand what you said there. That was twisted. Let's move right along.
The A word.
He did not reduce it. The A word. I was like, oh, God, I don't know what you're going to say.
Has Braden trained me well or what? Right?
Oh, it's getting there. It's a work in progress, but we're getting there. Speaking of another A word, here's some Axios. You brought this one forward. I love this one.
Yeah.
There's this quest right now. It's really weird how the media is actually deleting and scrubbing historical articles where they called Harris exactly what the Republicans are. They're scrubbing them.
Yeah. So, I mean, so one of Harris's biggest problems in this election is dealing with her own past,
face.
Right? She has done nothing as the vice president except become an embarrassment and be hidden away for the last year or so. Because, Joe's bad enough, but when you get cackles out there complimenting Joe's stupidity, you just got complete chaos. So
it's a lot of concentrated stupid.
Right. And so in her off time, when she's not in front of the cameras and is supposed to be doing actual work, she got nothing done. And the border is an example of that. In 2021, she was appointed the border czar, and Axios reported on that and called her the border czar. Well, now that the Republicans are using this in their campaign for Trump, well, it didn't really happen, folks. She wasn't really the border czar. She was just in charge of negotiating with South American countries to try to stop the flow of immigrants. It wasn't really the border czar position. That's a little bit of a stretch. So we're just going to go back to our 2021 article and amend it. And we made a mistake. She wasn't never the border czar. She didn't fail.
No, it wasn't.
She didn't fail, folks.
She didn't fail. It didn't even exist. It didn't even happen. It's so obvious. It's so incredibly clear. Only one little problem. The internet has receipts, morons.
I know.
All right, let me walk through this a little bit. This is from Axios. The Trump campaign and Republicans have tagged Harris repeatedly with the border czar title, which she never actually had.
Community note.
And way back in the community note, April 14th, 2021, Axios' Shauna Shen confirmed Kamala Harris has been appointed Biden's border czar, writing, Harris, appointed by Biden as border czar, said she would be looking at the root causes that drive migration. They literally, they want to tell you, and this is why we're doing these episodes, by the way, because we're just making a firm footprint in the stupid. We passed the most consequential gun laws in 30 years, and it's driven gun violence down to 50% lower. No, it hasn't. Stop lying to me. I can do that. I'm a guy on the internet and I can debunk this in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Then you've got this with, no, she was never actually the border czar. It's right in your own reporting. And there's interviews with Lester Holt. And there's interviews with her saying it. And there's interviews with her in Guatemala saying, do not come. I mean.
Okay. I won't touch that.
I know.
I won't touch that.
I know. Do not come. Do not
I'm going to come.
Yeah, I'm going to come. Yeah.
There it is. Trump had a response.
There it is. But I mean, literally, this is the part that's so infuriating, Tim. Like, they're lying to your face.
Yep. But we get past the community note, and what's Axios do? Yeah, they just run on back in time, and they amend the article. They take the border czar out, and they say, oh, well, look, we were one of many news organizations who just happened to get it wrong. It took us 4 years in a campaign with her in it to discover our mistake, but hey, we got to fix that now because we got an election to win over here.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. Hey, you know what else is terrible? More of the same. More of the same. Look at this, number 6. Tim, you got this one together, too. You were busy this morning.
Yeah. Davey.
Cool. No. Not her. Not him yet.
Oh, no.
He's got his coming.
Oh, okay.
This is where they deleted the article where they ranked her the most liberal compared to all senators, and then they're trying to memory hole that one, too.
Yes.
Like, no, that didn't happen. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
No.
So there's this effort on the internet right now to erase Harris's history. Because she is a complete abomination from a political standpoint. This woman is a mess, a complete mess. She flubbed her debate when she went up against, Biden before he picked her.
Tulsi Gabbard, too.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her. I mean, literally, she dropped out after the first debate. I mean, there were no names out there that stuck around longer than she did. Her performance was 100%. So abysmal. And then you have the last 4 years of her being caught saying, all these word salads and dancing stupid little dances, trying to look relevant and TikTok video type stuff. And she just looks like a complete buffoon. So now they got to go back in time and erase all that because it's being brought up, because now she's been the anointed one. And she's been anointed. And
coronation was 2 days ago.
Yeah. GovTrack in 2019 rated her the most leftist senator of all 100 in the Senate. And that's saying something. That puts her left of Bernie Sanders, folks.
Yep.
And he is an avowed communist. He literally is. Everybody likes to say, well, you don't even know what a communist is.
Communist or socialist?
It's one and the same, dude. What do you think USSR stood for?
Slightly different. No, I know, but
there is no communism, just as there's no democracy. Socialism is what they had. They weren't truly a communist state. Yes. Communism can't exist in its purest form, just like democracy doesn't exist anywhere in the world. We have a constitutional republic that has elements of a democracy in it, i.e. we vote, but that doesn't make it a democracy. So communism doesn't really exist, maybe in a kibbutz in Israel somewhere, but as a nation, it doesn't exist. But anyway.
No, hold on. So you're not saying it doesn't exist. You're saying it's not in full practice.
Yes.
You mean the purity of that's what you mean.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, because I'm pretty sure communism and socialism are completely different things.
They're still commies, and I want to call them commies because it's catchy.
Okay.
But
carry on. I fully understand what you mean.
Yeah, it's a perversion of communism called socialism, which is why I'm so opposed to socialism. Anyway, so
I got you.
Right. Anyway, where were we? Kamala Harris. Yeah.
We were about to go. We were talking about Kamala Harris being far left. She's too crazy for Bernie Sanders. And then you got Davey from K12 coming up after that.
So you know what this tells you, folks, is that they fear that people don't like far left politics.
Oh, weird.
Crazy. I know Fetterman. No, he doesn't either. Yeah.
That guy. I swear to God, dude, that guy had a stroke, woke up and goes, where the hell? How long was I down? What?
he fell to the right.
Crazy.
Now he's more towards the center. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you want to wrap us out with this last Twitter twit?
Oh yeah,
Davey Hogg, because you brought this one up.
Oh, this is not Davey Hogg. This is Davey from K12 Database.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, this is a special kind of stupid. So hey, folks, Davey did a deep dive into the motivations of Cooks, the guy that took the shot at the teleprompter next to Trump's head, and he came to a very, very impressive conclusion. I mean, I don't know how this took a lot of work, folks. I mean, this is simply amazing. And here, just let me read it to you because I got to bring it up on my screen here. So according to K12 Database, Occam's razor suggests that when faced with the competing explanations, the simplest is most likely the correct one. Oof. He seems well read, doesn't he? So anyway, the simplest explanation is the 20-year-old Butler PA, 20-year-old in Butler PA tried to kill Trump just because he could.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So. And there's a picture of him with an AR-15. I mean, he just could, folks. There's his motivation. He just could. He did because he could. I mean, it's what motivates everybody, right? Just because we can. I mean, wow.
They could.
What an amazing revelation. This guy is going places, folks. What do you think, Braden?
Oh, no. Oh, he's going places. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere. This guy, actually, no, to be completely and fairly honest with you, he posts just the right quantity of stupid and completely baseless claims that can be used as propaganda. He will probably end up in somewhere like working with or partnered with Everytown for Gun Safety to give as one of their ancillary little people who put out stupid stuff and they retweet it so he could be the fall guy, but they still get a paycheck. I mean, that's probably where he's going, because if your honest to God answer to me is why violence exists is because it just can.
Great. I mean, we could do so much with that. I mean, that's going to help us tremendously in solving the crime problem.
It's just, it's the stupidest. So desires, needs, all other factors in someone's life, those don't matter. It's just because you can.
Yep.
In all crime, it's just because you can. It's easy. And okay, well, Tim, question: if it's just because you can, then why is the problem guns?
I'm sure he'll figure out a way to connect those to it. some point as flimsily
Well, it's going to be
possible.
it's going to be the availability. It's just because he can and he's got the guns available. So therefore, that's the short road to, well, everyone just does violence because they can. So we've got to get rid of anything and everything that can be used as violence because there's no moral arbiter or control over people. Right. It's just because they can. So we need to go ahead and disarm everyone of everything and go full on London and say you can't even have knives longer than 4
maybe
inches.
A concentration camp here or there just to lock people up that might, with pre-crime crimes,
I mean, yeah, other than that, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where they go with all this. Yeah, old Davey, he has some really great, highly intellectual thoughts. Things like him making a video saying that if you filter my data one way, you'll get 2,300 school shootings, but if you use a different filter, you'll get 8.
You'll get 8.
So I mean, it's just the man is he thinks like there's like quantum mechanics going on in his brain. Things it may seem outwardly very simple, and maybe an idiot posted this. But there's some really deep thought going on behind the scenes, I fear.
I fear.
All right.
Nice.
Anyway, old Davey, he's the butt of jokes. But he seems to love it. He comes over onto my X feed and responds to me. He did in this case. But anyway, yeah, it's always fun. So go swing by and say hi to Davey. Show him some love. He's such a interesting person. Thanks for watching Second Legacy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.